So, it's been a minute since I did my last vlog. I would say I looked at the timeline of my last video. The last vlog I did was about 2 months ago. 2 months ago, I also did that vlog, and I stated that, so that was around April, and I stated that that was the same month, the anniversary of my father being, passing away. So it will be about 2 years now. Boy, 2 years go by really fast. And it also stated, that my grandmother was in the hospital, and I also said she'd be back, she'd be all right. And at that time, I thought it was, that was going to happen, and I was hoping for it. And that was the MO. My grandmother, we do this all the time. She gets sick, she goes to the hospital, she bounces back. She's always the comeback kid. She does that all the time, and you try not to worry yourself too much. Just stay positive, and that's what I always try to do all the time. Is I stay positive, think positively, and with my grandmother, I always look at it. Oh, she's here. She'd be back out, because for the past year it's been that way, and she, this time she got really sick, and it was one of those things that I wasn't prepared for, because the end result of this thing was that, and if you could tell, if you have me on Facebook or Instagram, or follow me on Twitter, I stated, because I haven't really done any videos since then, because I was working and going to the hospital and coming home, sleeping, and go back to work, go visit her. It's the same thing. I just wasn't in the mood to really do any videos, because I was more worried about the situation. With that situation, my grandmother passed away. Crazy saying that. So my grandmother passed away April 28th. It was really one of those things where the doctors, for like, I would say 2 weeks straight, 3 weeks straight, going back and forth to the hospital and checking on her and seeing how she was. But I don't want to get into the details of everything, but just to be there and see how she was, I could tell that she was in a lot of pain, and I didn't know what was going to happen. I was trying to think positive, and all I asked for was just to talk to her, and this time she couldn't talk. She's just that out of it. It was a few different complications that occurred, and I wasn't able to have that last talk with her. They called us to the room, and told us to come there. I think it was Sunday, and so they could talk to us, me, my family, and a minister, and they were basically, one of the things you never want to hear is that, they said it was nothing they could do. That, they tried everything, and nothing was, working. And, this is the woman that took me in as a kid. I was only 7 when I moved to Connecticut, turning 8. And from that on to being a grown man now, I'm 29 now. She raised me the whole way. I had my mother and my aunts, everyone that played a part, my father, everybody played a part in my life. But my grandmother, she was everything to me. She was my heart. She helped me out so many countless of times. She raised me to be who I am, and I've never been to jail because of her. I never been a person that drank a lot and become intoxicated and whatnot because of her. I never did drugs because of her. Because I always had in the back of my mind, my grandmother's going to kill me if something happens, negatively, if I do this or do that. She helped me be more courteous to everyone, to realize there's a lot of other things out here than just you. There's other people that's, think about if you're going through something, there's somebody, if you're going through something and you're thinking, this is it, I can't deal with this, you have to think to yourself, there's somebody else going through something worse than you. And she installed that in me. Even through the brokest of days I've had in my life, since living on my own, especially, going through dead-end jobs and all that, and she was the one to help me down when no one else was able to. I have a lot to owe. I owe to her. She accepted me for who I am, through all the different metamorphoses of me through years of what I like and didn't like. That was different from everyone else, especially being a black male, young male in the world today, where everybody's so judgmental, and letting me and accepting me of being, when I tell her I want to be a wrestler, or I want to say I want to be a singer, or I want to play hockey, I want to play soccer, I want to be a superhero, I want to go into cosplay, I like cosplaying, this is what I like. There was no negativity. There was none like, why you want to do that? Why this? She'd be like, oh, what is that? Let me see. I want to see what that is. She always was the one to want to know more about what I like. What is her grandson getting himself into? What does he like this time? All those things, and all those things shape me to be who I am. And even collecting action figures. Not every parent, care for their child to be into, collecting action figures or whatnot. As a grown man, look at it as weird or whatever. But she never looked at me like that. She, and some matter of fact, she encouraged me because she looked at, hey, if it's not putting that man in jail, if it's not putting him, 9 feet on the ground, all that, if this is what he likes and it's positive, and go ahead. She always did that. Even when I was a kid, playing my Legos, she, always was so proud of me. Every time I made a Lego, she would take it, I did some type of vehicle or whatever, she would put it up. And I would never get to put it, take it apart and everything, to play and do it all over again. Because she's like, nope, that's a trophy. You did that. That was nice. She'll put it up on the shelf because, she was so proud of it. Because I did that, even though I was her grandson, I look at myself, I guess I was, she had 4 kids of her own. She raised all 4 of her kids. She raised her siblings. And as I look at, I guess I was another child for her. I'm her grandson, but it was more than that. It was deeper than that. She's my grandmother. She was my mother. She was my best friend. She could be a pain in the butt. Just like all grandmothers when they worry too much. She worried a lot, and I never wanted anybody to worry about me, but she did. She does a lot, and that's one of the good things about her. She had a big heart. She did a lot for everybody, and a lot for me. I can't think of. I lose count of all the things she's done for me since I was a kid to now. She was everything for me. When my father passed away, that was a really hard thing, and I still think about my father all the time. But when he passed, she was there. And I had a friend of mine who died in high school. She was there. So, needless to say, when she passed, she wasn't there. Like, she was the one that, you know. So, I don't want to get into much into this, but, you know, for the past 2 months, I just been, you know, working. I've been through one job to the next job. It's weird. It's just been crazy. But, you know, I kind of threw myself in work. Like the day, I would say, I took one day off from work just to go to the funeral. I took, you know, when we had to do everything for that day, when we had to let her go, I took that night off. It's just I really didn't know how to handle it. I still don't quite, I still don't understand how to handle this too early, too well. It's a different situation for me. I guess with death, it depends. I guess it varies with people, and depending on, especially how that person impacted you. But this is very, very hard on me. So I did do go back to work and back and forth and just deal with that. I couldn't, I just didn't really want to think about it too much, and I still try to think about it too much. But this is the first time I think I've ever talked about it outspoken, and actually to more than just my aunt or my mother or my sister, just to say it to the world, and out of my brain, just speaking it. There's so many things I want to say about this lady, but it's so many. But then again, it's like, what do you say about a person that was, that was her. My grandmother's name is Jean Good Parker. And that lady was everything to me. She was the best. I like to say thank you to my aunts, my for all of my aunties, and my Aunt Bonnie, my Aunt Jeanette especially. She was, she drove us back and forth to the hospital, especially those last few days. My Aunt Bonnie, I love her to death, and this is her mother, and this is my father's sister. So, I thank her a lot, even though we're both going through this a lot, right now. My sister, my mother, even though they're down south, they helped me. My brother-in-law, just all the words from everyone, and surprisingly, a lot of friends that, people I didn't expect. I would have to give a special shout out, to my best friend Leo. As soon as he found out, he showed up, over my house like he usually does for a lot of things. And sad thing about him, he's leaving, so I'm gonna miss him. He's finally, starting a new life. I'm proud of him. I really am proud of him. As you see in the video, I was helping him move, and I'm so proud of him. And he's really doing it, and I'm so super proud of him. And I'm happy that he was here to help me through the situation. And I'm a major surprising shout out to my coworker, Lance. Lance, you see this video? Thank you so much. You are the best. I did not expect that from you, but you came in and just helped a brother out. This guy, I would say, shocked me, because I came into work with the situation and that tried to talk to anybody, and I was closed off, and he kind of figured out something was wrong with me, and he gave me some words of encouragement, but just he checked up on me just see how I was doing. And this guy has his own life, and not knowing him for so long, he just still, it was there. I can't even, I don't know what else to say about that. Like, that guy swooped in and, helped the brother out when I was at work, and, just was there, just to help me. And I believe that's a friend for life right there, because I don't meet a lot of people that do that. And yeah, they he came in and did the job, and helped the brother out, and out of sheer kindness. And it's one of those things that my grandmother taught me. There is good in people. You never know, or there'll be some people that will surprise you in life, and he's one of those people. Shout out to my friends James, Daryl, you guys, with the comedy. Just make me not think about it too much, and just have fun, and do other things and stuff like that. But yeah, I want to go on, keep babbling right now, but that's basically what has been going on with me, with my grandmother's death, and working and stuff with these different jobs, venturing into, and so I'm back. Bear with me. Got some cons. Got this Kinetic Con coming up, so just trying to get stuff ready for that. And yeah, so I mean, I don't know what to say, but one thing I will say about my grandmother, that I remember when she always told me to this day, when I first moved to Connecticut, when I was a child, my father needed somebody to take care of me when it was a lot of good stuff going down when I was younger, but he needed my grandmother's help, and she was worried because she's about taking care of another kid. He's so young, and she's not equipped for that situation right now. And she was taking care of my Uncle Billy, who was sick at the time. So me coming into this thing was a big thing. It was a big deal. But she said she went to sleep, and she said that God told her that for me, as me, I will never be a burden. I will always be a blessing. Now, I think I said it right. Never a burden, always a blessing. And she always said to this day, I have never been. She brag about me to all her friends and whatnot about me. Trust me, at the funeral, I had so many stories told about my grandmother that I didn't know, and just all the different things about her. So, little did she know, and it's one of those things you never really think about until a situation arises. Is that even though that was the case for me, she was my blessing the whole way. If it wasn't for her, like I said, I wouldn't be the man I am today. Yeah, I just wouldn't be. And I will always miss her and love her for as much as I can. As much as God tells me He got to call me up or something. She is my everything. Yeah, so that's my grandmother. The toughest thing I won't be able to do is listen and hear her voice. I still get those moments. I want to call, or I forget. Oh, let me call grandma right quick to, just those little things. So if you have a mother, father, grandparent, friend, best friend, girlfriend, boyfriend, all of the above. If you have a loved one, just cherish them as much as you can. Take the good with the bad, all that, because you never know how much you will miss them until they're gone. You can say you love that person all day, every day, but it still hurts when they're gone. It still hurts. If they say, hey, if they ever say one of those things, those questions, if you could have a dinner or a lunch with your top person or whatever who you look up to, your icon or whatever, dead or alive, hands down, I choose my grandmother every time. Every time, no matter who it is. You know, even though, hey, Michael Jackson's, you know, great and all, but if I had to choose, dead or alive, person to have dinner with, you know, and talk to, definitely would be my grandmother. So yeah, this is about that. So I'm gonna go and see you guys later. This is awkward.